you learned that shit was so sincere. It's so absurd to me. Things that you said that left a burn on me. I can't find my way without you. I can't find my way without you. It's so absurd to me. That you said that left a burn on me. I can't find my way without you. I can't find my way without you. I can't find my way without you. It's so absurd to me. Things that you said that left a burn on me. I can't find my way without you. I can't find my way without you. I can't find my way without you. That shit for me. That other shit fucking senseless. Other shit fucking senseless. All that other shit fucking. Other shit fucking senseless.
Ritalin is sometimes called the smart pill for those with ADHD, but could it actually be dumbing kids down?
Go against Venus. Go against Venus. Go against Venus. Against me, that's war. Rocking these booty shorts, partying more. Give us some more. Girl, you look tore up from the floor. Go against me, that's war. Rocking these booty shorts, partying more. Give us some more. Girl, you look tore up from the floor. Go against me, that's war. 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 Go against me, that's go against me, go against me, that's war. Go. Guns up if you ever think different. Go against me, that's war. Go. Guns up if you ever think different.
Skull chicks, let's go. Go against me, that's war. I'm everything you want and more. Haters trying to kill my spirit, but I stay moving different. Love me, hate me, watch me go. Go against me, that's war. You trying to fight, let's even the score. I'm gonna take over the world. If you going jigs, get ready for war. Go against me, that's war. Go against me, that's war. Yeah, go against me, that's war. Go against me, that's war.
Against me, that's go against me, that's go against me, that's go against me, that's war. Go.
Switch.
If you ever think different. Go against me, that's war.
Yeah.
If you ever think different. Go against me, that's
Woo!
go against me, that's go against me, that's
This puts me in a party mood, bro.
This is me jamming out to music.
The best part is if you guys see what Graveyard's doing, it's just he's not moving, but the beard is bobbing back and forth. It's
Absolutely.
a sight of marvel. It is very beautiful to watch a man not move at all, but his beard somehow is still bobbing its head. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start this show.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Distance nerding.
If I move away from the mic, it works out a little bit better.
We need a warning. Phil's yelling.
Right? There's this thing on StreamYard where it cuts everything out. Oh, you know what it is? Okay, I think if I turn that off. Hey! Is it cutting out?
No.
Okay, I figured it out.
Yay!
There's a feature on StreamYard that automatically adjusts the microphones.
Yes, there is.
And I had that turned on, and basically what that's doing is it's putting a compressor limiter on the system, so that's why it cuts out.
Gotcha.
Right.
I know I have to use that sometimes when I stream. So
Right. For all my audio nerds out there, you guys know what the hell I just said. Everybody else probably not understanding what the hell just happened. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is time. It is the build. We are ready for all of the fun because I'm ready for it. I'm already energized, mainly because halfway through my work shift today, I got tired and I busted out the devil. And if you guys are wondering what the devil is,
meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom,
right, I busted out Logan Paul's energy drink because it has 200 milligrams of caffeine in it.
That's the only part that's true about it. Yes.
Yeah. It's actually they're actually pretty delicious. I will give them that. They taste pretty good. I drank a Prime. And as much as I hate Logan Paul, that drink was amazing. So I will, if it's the one compliment, which I shouldn't even be like, saying negative things about him. We're probably never going to get any more viewers because we're denigrating the guy who basically runs streaming.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, you don't want to fight him? Let's fight him.
Sadly, I'm a former boxer. He's a current boxer. He'd probably whoop my ass.
It'd be fun to watch.
It would be fun to watch. So I mean, that whole thing. Yeah, that's why we're gonna talk W, but I'm probably not gonna drink any because I may give myself a heart attack if I try. So that being said, I mean, I guess that's something that people want to see is young Phil have a heart attack on the middle of the show.
Hey, whatever gets the views, right? You want me to shave my beard for 1 million views? I'll do it.
Oh man. Yeah. for our millionth subscriber.
Yes.
Then that's what would happen. James saying dibs on
Does that mean James would be doing the build then? Interesting.
You know what? It would be awesome if that were a thing, but it's not. I don't think there's ever a day where James would actually be on the build.
We can only hope that one day he'll join us.
I know he's gonna say I'm never invited, which is a lie. You're invited to every show, but yeah, that would be great if he was here. Yes, A Wong. This Saturday.
What's this Saturday?
I was gonna say, aside from us being in Oregon, what is this Saturday? We're gonna be at Metal Arc Comic Con.
Ah, that's right.
Oh, okay. No, he's talking about Oklahoma.
Oh, because that's what I got by the metal sign.
Yeah. All right.
Do we have some housekeeping to do?
I do. We do have some housekeeping because we can talk all about sports ball all day, which is really more so me and James than anybody else on this channel.
Yes. I'm more versed in the DC than I am sports ball.
I mean, if you're a longtime follower of this show, you've heard me and James argue the merits of the Raiders versus the Niners. So,
go football! I know that.
Go football! All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about the sponsors, about the people that run this show. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring it on. This entire show, everything that we do on the stream is brought to you by that little logo on the top right of the screen, right above Graveyard's head. That is brought to you by Poddex. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Poddex. Poddex are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So if you are a new podcaster or if you're an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, level up with Poddex and check out poddex.com. Use the code that you see on the screen right there, nerding10. You would see it better if I took that down. There you go, nerding10, and get 10% off your order. Let's show the audience here what the close-up magic looks like, because boom, that is right. Graveyard showing off those beautiful decks. Got that interview deck system going right there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in Poddex as a fun thing to bring to your next party or just fun in general, get some Poddex, guys. It's a good fun game. We've actually used it on the show when we it's been a long time since we've had a situation where we didn't have content, but where we were just like, okay, well, what do we do? Busted out the Poddex and started asking questions. So it's actually a really good time filler if you're not if you don't have anything planned.
I actually used one question on the new show last night.
Dude, okay. Before I get into the next sponsor here, if you guys didn't watch Conversations in the Void with Terry Bolo last night and Graveyard, our host Graveyard, if you did not go and watch that, you need to go after the show, go watch it. Well, after this show and after Loki.
Yes.
That's a lot going on today. But no, at some point, guys, you need to go watch that show. It was amazing. It was fun. Terry had a whole bunch of fun from what I could tell looking on there.
Oh yeah.
And Graveyard out of the back of his pocket, busting out stuff that I was like, why don't we do that on our show?
Which is what?
Do the trivia questions at the end. Like asking the guest trivia. She seemed like she was so taken aback by that concept, but it seemed like so much fun. And then asking her, and she got the question right, which was great. But I mean, yeah, no, if you guys have not gone to go check out Conversations in the Void yet, go and check out Conversations in the Void. Who's your next guest?
My next guest, I believe, is Josh Brucker.
Oh, yes. Yeah, friend of the show, Josh Brucker, man. Love Josh. He's a great guy. And just not only just being great. I mean, if you guys are into found footage horror films and wanting to see Graveyard in a film, guys, you need to come out and check that out next week on Wednesday at 7. Well, Wednesday at 7 our time.
Yes. No. Next week will be half an hour early. Okay. Just for timing. But yes, make sure to check that out. Conversations Void. It's at Pod Out at Night on YouTube. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm going to his premiere of Woodman in a couple of weeks too.
Nice.
So
that's 6:30 Pacific, 8:30 Central for you, right?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. Got to keep up with this chat. So let's. Oh God, they're talking about the Raiders.
Sports ball. Yay!
Is a Raider pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won. Too bad the Raiders suck and are not winning. I'm just saying that because you guys lost your last game, but still, it's fine. Micah Parsons is the second coming of LT. So we're saying, Mike, you think Micah Parsons is the next LaDainian Tomlinson? I don't know about that, man. Again, I'm just throwing Graveyard for a loop right here. This isn't the show for that.
Remember, I'm from Chicago. I have one Major League Baseball team and then the Cubs. And
I love that. One Major League Baseball team and then the Cubs. You're obviously a White Sox fan. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Which I'm a Giants fan. So, I mean, whole different monster. But I mean, I have a whole different rivalry system.
Oh, yes. And then, of course, the Bears, which we don't talk about the Bears, really.
The Bears. We talked about the Bears in the 80s because we got that gem.
Yes. I was like 3 months old when they won. So, yeah. Man.
Got my Devontae Adams Funko Pop. Of course, James. Ooh. James is collecting all of his Raider Funko Pops.
Ooh.
I just want gold as well. Actually, his Bo Jackson Pop is kind of dope. I will give him that.
I want to get myself a James Pop.
I think a lot of people want the James Pop. I've had a lot of people actually say they want to buy our Funko Pops, and it's like, really?
Oh,
do you watch the show?
I want a James Pop and a big James Pop, and they can go next to each other.
Oh, nice. James said he got free shipping when buying new prizes for Distance Nerding giveaways, which means we've got a bunch of pops we're giving away this weekend. Yes, Bill Parcells Giants. The Icky Shuffle.
Wow.
Blend?
I feel like chat has some sort of new energy in them. Could
they do
be drinking something different?
I think they are. And you know what it is? I think they may be drinking what I normally drink. Because, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, good transition. Ladies and gentlemen, Young Phil's energy and the chat's energy today apparently is brought to you by. Hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. Dummy! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. And guys, if you're trying to get on that keto train, it's keto friendly. So Dubby contains Neurofactor. It's a neurotropic derived from the coffee fruit. Neurofactor helps give your brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. Ladies and gentlemen, head over to www.w.gg. Use the code NERDING10. Get 10% 10% off your order. The flavors are delicious. I have yet to run into a flavor that I did not like, and it is amazing. So, with all that being said, I normally would be going right into introducing our guest, but he's not backstage yet. So I'm actually going to text him here in a second.
Well, I mean, in the meantime, we do have Spooktober bracket.
Yes, and actually, I was going to bring that up. Not only do we have the Spooktober bracket this week that we're starting this week, I don't know if you noticed, but unfortunately, our guest for next week had to reschedule.
Oh,
which means instead of booking another guest, we are going to do the spoopy bracket. You know, get
the spoops all brackets.
We're doing spoops all brackets next week, guys.
Yes,
and it is going to be grand. Hold on, what does James say? If we don't give them all out at the con, let's give some prizes away on Distance Nerding next week. You know what? I like that, James. I like that you're giving me permission to give shit away.
I mean, I'm still waiting for my new shirt. I mean, while I am sporting the OG.
I do. You know what it is? I haven't sent it out yet because I have all your guys' addresses and I was going to send those. So, the Tampa Bay James, Tom
wow.
Brady. God, these guys are just. It's nothing but football in the chat right now.
This is spooky month. Come on.
Yeah. We're going to talk spoopy. All right, guys.
Spoopy.
We want to talk spoopy. I want to talk spoopy. Exactly. So let's announce what the spoopy bracket is this for the beginning of October here.
We're going to go hard hitting right off the bat. Best horror movie franchise. The entirety of it. So when Say Wong asked, I'm talking about the old, the new, the remakes, everything taken into account for it. You know, so all 15 Halloweens, you know, of 5 which are good, all 11 Hellraisers, all 2 that are good.
Man, this is gonna be good, man.
Mm-hmm. I tried my best to keep off sci-fi ones that were big, you know, because I don't personally consider Predator to be a horror movie. I don't think I even have. Yeah, I think I took off Aliens as well because, well, it turned into an action movie more so than anything else. First one horror, the rest action. When you have just Marines with guns, that's action. So for
horror elements to it, though.
It has some horror elements, but I was trying to do more horror elements than anything else. And try to stick with ones that most people heard of, because I can go deep into the woods with some of these franchises.
Oh, yeah, this we know.
Yes, But yeah, let's create no sci-fi bracket. We will be picking up the sci-fi bracket once Spooktober is done. So
because there's still a lot involved in the in that bracket.
Oh yeah, we only got through half of them. So yeah, that sci-fi debate is TV show debate is just huge.
Right. And I think a lot of that is because we do actually debate on a lot of that stuff. So
it's absolutely
it's one of those things where it's not as simple as, oh, well, you know what? Sci-fi, because I mean, you have a lot of people going different places that you know, there's a lot of arguments for which one is better, and especially as we get through the bracket, it tends to get a little more hectic on that side.
Oh yeah, and we don't want to anger the Frey girl in her month of power.
Exactly. This is her most powerful that she is the entire year.
Oh yeah, I said this is when all the other elders, immortal beings, make sacrifices to the Frey for one more year of immortality. So
like I mentioned in the chat, because I know you're the only person that would understand this reference. Are they making tithes?
Yes. Or as I call it this season, titties. Yes, Eris Morn and her titties now.
It's the best because you can really misprint, like, you know, misunderstand what you just said, because it sounds like titties, but you're saying tithies.
Yep. Say Wong, a versus film is part of a franchise, therefore it's not a standalone part of it. It's not singular movies. Adult bracket is more fun. Porn bracket would be fun. We don't kink shame here. Let's create. So we appreciate all porn equally.
Darren, so I'm just throwing it out there. Unlike on our regular chat on Twitch, this actually tells us what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much funnier, dude. It is so much better that I can see what you said. You know what? As a matter of fact, I can just put it on the stream. Yes, porn brackets would be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh God, I would lose that immediately because I have no idea like which porn. Okay, they have names, don't they?
Yes. I mean, I don't know. All right, so
not
anyone,
I watch porn. All right,
no. All right, so once again, I picked I'd say the 32 most well-known horror movie franchises, old and new, because some of them are still going strong 50 years later, right? Yeah, so like I said, you include everything into it. So the good, the bad, and there you have the facts of life. So let's get it started, shall we?
A lot are bad. Even the good ones, a lot are considered bad.
Oh, yes. Trust me, I'm fully aware. We are doing, for the podcast, we are doing the Saw franchise this month and reviewing all of them.
You guys are watching them also. So I mean, more reason for Cam to like tune into your show because I know he's obsessed with Saw right now.
Oh yes, I mean Cam should always be tuning into the show.
Yeah, but, we know he doesn't. He's literally not watching the show right now because he's watching Loki.
Oh, I figure he's watching Anna make out with her boyfriend.
That's what he's constantly doing because they're in the room. So
yes. All right. So first up, we have the franchise that took 4 movies to get to space, Hellraiser, versus the franchise that took 10 movies to get to space with Jason X, Friday the 13th.
God, right off the bat. Holy shit.
These are all strong, hard-hitting franchises. So
yeah, that's why I'm like right off the bat. That's like, dude, Hellraiser versus Jason, like, or I guess Friday the 13th, because technically he wasn't the villain until the second movie. So,
and he wasn't the villain in the 5th one either,
right?
Because it was just some random person. Never seen. Oh, Let's Create says never seen Hellraiser.
That's right. The 5th movie was a copycat killer, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they realized, oh, we need Jason. Let's bring him back. We'll have Corey Feldman grow up 20 years in a year real time and bring him back to life. And that's when Jason became a Deadite, was in number 6.
Right.
Jason Lives.
Jason Lives, and then we got, the gem Jason Goes to Hell after that. Like, yes.
There's 3 more after that, then Jason Goes to Hell.
No, but I'm not saying that's immediately what we got. I'm saying led to that.
Yes. So yeah. Let's Create says never seen Hellraiser, too creepy. Say Wong says Jason's movies were iconic. Hellraiser, for anyone who doesn't know Hellraiser, the best way to explain it is, first and foremost, listen to the 4-part we did last year on the podcast, because there's so many of them. Essentially, as you got after number 4, people just took horror movies and pulled a Cloverfield. They go, hey, let's make this a Hellraiser movie. Here's 2 seconds of Pinhead. Hellraiser movie, done, perfect. Just like what they do with the Cloverfield universe right now.
Right. It's like those movies were basically BDSM. So I mean, just
Oh, absolutely. They are iconic, but most people probably don't see past number 2. Quite honestly, and Friday the 13th, everyone kind of knows Friday the 13th. Everyone knows, I think Scream told everyone that Jason wasn't in the first one because most people just assumed he was. and then Michael Bay made his piss poor attempt at rebooting these franchises in the early 2010s.
Oh my god! You know what? Like, okay, so I don't hold it against. I don't remember the name of the actor. The guy that ended up playing the new Freddy Krueger.
Jackie Earl Haley.
Jackie Earl Haley. I don't hold it against Jackie Earl Haley. He's an amazing actor, but just the way that they went with that franchise went a little bit too hard in a direction that didn't really need to go where they went.
Oh, yes.
So we're talking brackets here. We're gonna, unfortunately, guys, we're gonna hold off on this real quick because our guest just showed up, and and I want to introduce him. I want to take some time out to talk to this individual. So let me do my intro here, ladies and gentlemen. We've had the pleasure of knowing this week's guest for about a year now, a little bit longer, but like, I mean, it's give or take about a year. We met at a con. We met in the con circuit. It was technically a circus, and quickly became admirers of his work. And not only are his costumes amazing, but he also runs an amazing nonprofit. We're honored to bring on the Beefcake Bowser himself. That's what I'm gonna call him, right? The
Yes.
Bowser. Let me get the right thing here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Brandon Boykins Cosplay. Woo!
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. That is the most iconic intro I think I've ever had.
Is it because I called you the Beefcake Bowser?
Yeah, I've never had that one. I've never had that one yet. So that's pretty iconic. I'm going to keep that one around.
You know how long it took me to write that line?
I couldn't imagine.
All of 2 seconds. It was great. That's just
Good. That's exactly how it should be. I mean, I've always had like the typical thing on my name of like of it being Boykins. So like I don't know if it's like the way like I like pronounce it or my accent or something, but like usually people will be use it as like Boykins or something like something's very like bouncy for some reason, or I don't know. Big Boykins, since like my name kind of matches Big Black from Robin Big. I'd have some friends and people would be like Big Black. So like,
what's funny is you say Boykins and you're thinking like the way you went on that. I'm going full swing and just like
yes,
exactly right.
Like, yeah, no, we'll go with that, man. Have you seen this X? Come on.
I love it.
So let's start off right here, man. And by the way, Brandon, thank you for coming on, man. We're about to have a shit ton of fun. If you're not ready here, man.
I already know what I'm in for, especially with our small little interactions and talks. Even before setting this up. So I know what I'm in for, and I'm absolutely ecstatic. And once again, just huge honor for just having me on the show. And yeah, just huge honor. Ready to get started.
All right, man. So first question, just to kind of get to know you a little bit before we get into kind of talking about, your career and whatnot in cosplay and everything like that. We have a segment on our show called Growing Up Geeky. So what did you geek out on when you were a kid?
Oh man, that's I say basically everything. So everything that had to do with Marvel, DC to anime. I mean, my first interaction with anything nerdy was, I want to say, like elementary school. And I remember this almost vividly. And I remember near our elementary school, there was a library right next to the school. And during our class day for whatever class it was, our teachers just decided we're all going to take a fun little field trip and take a trip down to our local library. And we all walked together as a class, and everybody was like picking out their books, just something for everybody to develop their brains and get almost the feel of like like what do you like to read? What is something you would like develop your brain off of? And none of the topics and stuff everyone else was picking out seemed interesting at all to me. And I just decided to just take a stroll just around the library, and I came across like in one of the right corners of the room when you first walk in is this little like comic book section. And the first comic I saw, it was Spider-Man versus Venom versus Carnage. I can't remember like what like issue it was or how deep like in that like comic run it was, but I just remember like all three of them like fighting each other on the cover, and something just immediately clicked in my brain and was like, those three. Whoever this Spider-Man dude is, whatever his secret identity is about, whatever his costume is about, whoever these two alien goop-looking things are that he's fighting, all that. Like, I want to know it all. I want to know where they're from, their lore. I want to know all of it. So I immediately like grasped upon it and like just continuously went to Barnes and Nobles here in town and got more books to read and more of the classic like Steve Ditko comic books to read. And from there, just kind of developed. Batman was the next thing that like kind of developed a little bit after that.
Yeah.
And just was a huge just fan of just all the movies and the comic book runs and everything that just had to do with the character in general. And surprisingly enough, followed on after that was Wolverine from X-Men, and that was something like same thing for like Spider-Man. I just saw his grizzled look, like the adamantium claws, like his costume, the way like the colors popped. There was just everything around like just the character in general that I personally was like, I love everything about all three of these characters. These are my top three. Like, no one's touching them. Like, I'm studying everything there is to know about these characters. Like, so, and from there, it just developed into just madness until anime kind of popped up.
Madness.
Yeah.
This is not Sparta. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that was basically it.
So, and that's amazing, man. I mean, it's very similar to like the majority of us and like how we got our start in like nerdy stuff.
Oh,
Mhm.
I absolutely saw the Carnage on the comic one day, and I go, all right, I'm buying this comic, and I tried to draw full-size posters off of it, and just kind of copy
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a I pulled it up on the show a while back, but I like one of the earliest Carnage books that I got was that Carnage #1, the horror comic where he like murders everybody, like how deranged he is as a character,
Mhm.
right? And it's up here somewhere. I'm not gonna look for it right now. I had it the other day, but yeah, I mean, because like my first brush with Carnage specifically was Maximum Carnage.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. And just that book in general was amazing, right? So I mean, like I was all over that, and then I started really getting into Carnage after that, and like to this day he's still one of my favorite villains, if done correctly, because I mean there's a lot of Carnage that has not been done right. So
Fair enough, that's true.
Yeah, and don't forget, in Maximum Carnage storyline, he did travel via landline to attack people.
He did. You know what?
Yeah.
I imagine, Graveyard, you really loved Carnage because he was probably one of the early like psychologically horrific characters.
Oh yes, absolutely.
If you had characters that are like, okay, yeah, they're kind of scary, whatever, whatnot, but like he was the first one that was like legitimately a scary force.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely love Carnage.
So back to Brandon. So what inspired you to start cosplaying? Like, what were you doing before you started cosplaying?
So before that, I was doing actually sports. So, and even before then, it was acting. So, growing up, I had wanted to be an actor. As a childhood actor, I wanted to be, in just the big budget films. I loved everything that just went along about all of that, like the process of making films, studying the roles, all that stuff, getting in a character, literally everything about it. I was so like in love with. But unfortunately, also being a child actor is also being good, and I wasn't one of them, obviously. And with that, after doing so many like auditions and getting a growth spur of doing modeling as well, so like just that practice there in posing. After just going through all that and just like I said, once again, just having a growth spurt, I was doing auditions for roles that were more for like actual teenagers. So I want to say like 13 to maybe 16, if not 15. That would like really benefit a lot of people auditioning, obviously for the roles or for the commercials or whatever agency that was wanting to hire people for whatever reason that was. And for me, being like 10 years old, and like I said, being at the size that I was, because as I was referring to earlier, anime was the main reason why I even started working out. So I started working out at, I want to say like 6, maybe like 7 years old. After watching Dragon Ball Z, I believe it was Cooler's Revenge or like Cooler's Return. It was like the first like Cooler movie that we got from DBZ. And just after like Goku had like rose from like the canyon of like kind of just getting like punched through it from Cooler in the second form, there was like something in my mind that just kind of clicked and was like, I want to look like that. Probably like maybe around his BV or just like either way, I want to have muscles, the six pack. I want to have all that. So ran next door to my mom. We didn't have any money for like dumbbells or like a gym membership or anything. So at the time we had like some empty milk jugs and milk gallons that we could get. And so we would fill those up with water, throw those in the freezer, wait till those got rock solid. And I would just use those as dumbbells and would just constantly just be doing thousands upon hundreds of push-ups. Just almost every day, or like whenever my mom would be bored or us watching TV and it'd be like a 1 minute commercial break and my mom would be like, hey, try and pump out as many push-ups as you can right now before your show comes back on. And so I would just try and like pump out as many as I could before like whatever else was coming back on. But like I said, so with just my growth spurt and just being as like lean as I was, like I obviously fit more of the description of like a teenager or just a preteen. But obviously being like 10 or 11 years old, I didn't know that. And so I was still auditioning for kids that were my age. And so unfortunately, after just so many auditionings and not getting a call back from that, I remember my mom, me and her had made an agreement of if I don't get a call back after one of these auditions, then I would join my middle school basketball team. And fast forward to that, I was doing basketball. I did football throughout high school, and then went to a JUCO out in Quincy, California, called Feather River, and played college football over there for 2 years till I moved back here to Reno to try and get onto the Nevada football team. But long story short, every year during that process, Nevada was just going through football coaches. And so one coach that I would talk to after sending in my recruitment stuff and videos and all that, like, hey, I'd love to be a part of the team or come on as a walk-on, whatever, you guys are interested in having me on. And obviously they'd be those coaches like, yeah, we would love that. You seem great. You grew up here in the city. All that. We'd love to have you part of the football program. Definitely talk to me at the end of this season for sure. And then at the end of the season, he would either be fired or they would leave and go to a different university. And so I would have to restart the recruiting process all over again with the new coach. Same thing was promised. He would move on. So it was just like a revolving door of coaches. And after that, of just not getting onto the football team, my mother had passed in 2017 due to just some difficulties with the stroke. And after that, I had wanted to go to San Diego Comic-Con, and that was something like I was always like talking to my mom about and wanted to go to and attend. And so she helped me get a credit card earlier that year to like try and save up and buy a ticket and whatever costume I wanted to do at the time. And so after her passing, the con still like months and months and months away. And so my best friend at the time was like, hey, like just to like help you, you know, kind of like ease back into things and, you know, kind of deal with your grief and stuff like that. Like, let's still finish up that plan you wanted to do. And let's go to San Diego Comic-Con. And so we did that. We got our tickets. We went, had an absolute blast in 2017 when I went. Definitely some stuff I wish I could redo for that year. Cause I was still in the learning process of cosplay. And so I didn't understand the idea of comfortable footwear.
Oh yeah.
Or having insoles in your shoes. Because, you know, obviously the cosplay shoes that they give you are the absolute best and are meant for long lasting comfort and are also meant for just everything in general when it comes to just walking around and enjoying a con.
Tracks. That's why I wear Crocs.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most like genius plan, and of course, like for a Deadpool cosplay, it fits perfectly. So I totally understand in your end. And so the other thing with that year, the costume I got was the Civil War Black Panther costume from that year. So which like Civil War barely just came out. Barely anyone was wearing the costume, let alone even seeing it walk around on a con. So that was something that was like super fun to do. But on my end, I unfortunately messed up on my measurements. And so I wasn't able to send the suit back to China, get it fixed by them, and get it back in enough time. And so my best friend at the time who was joining me decided to like fix up the costume a bit. And so what we did was he got some scissors and cut off the sleeves and just completely the entire arm. And all that was left was some fabric from maybe like the top of my forearm or maybe midway to my forearm down to my wrist. And then like the gloves that were still left over from the costume.
Okay.
And I had a long sleeve black athletic shirt that I would wear with it. And so I wore that to cover up the rest of it. And at the time, I thought that looked absolutely terrible. Oh my gosh. Like, again, I didn't really obviously understand the things of like the two rules of cosplay, which is like be respectful and have fun because nobody cares about literally the rest. And so for me, I was like, oh, people are gonna like notice like the sleeves aren't fully like done, and I'm just wearing like an athletic shirt under this. Like the forearm parts look terrible along with the gloves. Oh, this is gonna look terrible. Like people are gonna hate it and just like not get a picture with me. I'm just gonna try and like hide in the crowd. It just this costume's terrible. And at the time, I remember my friend was in line to try the demo. It was like a 5 or 10 minute demo inside the con where you could play Mario Odyssey before that came out. And he was in line just getting ready to go play the demo. I was just standing outside the line, just waiting for him to be done, just kind of on my phone, kind of people watching me like, this is a fun con, but like, hope no one fucking looks at me in this terrible ass costume. And surprisingly enough, there was this mother and father with their daughter who was in the classic Harley Quinn black and red jester costume, and and the parents were like, "Hey, my daughter is a huge fan of Black Panther. Do you mind if like we ask and get a picture from you?" And that was something that just like surprised me out of everything, because that was like the point where like time almost stopped, in my opinion, where that like I finally had that opportunity of like, I'm so kind of confined to myself because the costume looks bad. No one, is going to notice. Like, I notice all the faults and difficulties with this costume. It looks terrible, in my opinion. No one's going to like it. There's so many other thousands and hundreds of people who I've walked by who look absolutely incredible that just completely out-trump my idea, that I don't even know why I'm even here now in the first place. But now, like, just because this little girl and this family noticed me standing there like against a wall, just was like incredible to be a part of. And so, of course. And so after I took a picture with her, I got kind of like that cosplay bug. And so I just enjoyed the rest of the weekend and decided to come back to San Diego again in 2018, the next year. And I did that again with the same friend. We did the costume once again. We did a little better job this time around. It was still a fun time. And I had encountered a Killmonger cosplayer at the time when I was walking around that second year. And I just got the chance to really like pick his brain and really ask him the who, what, where, when, and why of cosplay. Because he had been doing it for, I want to say at that time, maybe like 10, 15 years, maybe more. Oh, wow. Yeah, so he had been in the game like for ages. And that was just something I was still piecing together of like, I really like this like costume thing. And like, and I was always, growing up a huge just nerd of just all this. So like, I'm kind of new to it, but kind of like, I'm kind of thinking of like jumping into it, but like, I don't know where to start. So like, I really got to like pick his brain and really see like, as nerdy as something is as cosplay, as coming to a con, all that stuff. Like, what is the reason that like you personally keep coming back? Like, what is the absolute reason why you wake up, stupid early in the morning here in San Diego, in the middle of the summer, and come downtown to just this con and just enjoy it all? Like, why? And everything he was explaining to me like was just something that like connected with me personally, of just exactly, because of course we all understand being our best selves at a con, which is that's basically what it is when we're here in cosplay. It has nothing to do with really anything else. Like, sure, we can look at it deeply of like, I always have enjoyed this character, and I've always felt like a kinship and kind of a connection and personal connection with like this person's outlook on life and the way they've carried themselves over the years and everything, how the character was created, all that stuff. But it's just that giant collaboration of just all of us who all grew up together, of kind of being shunned for being nerdy and kind of being just seen as that weird, cringy person that no one wanted to talk to, no one wanted to hang out with, no one wanted to have any sort of relationship with at all, especially at school or in like the cafeteria, where, like I said, you would be looked at as a weirdo if you heard anyone be like, so you saw that new like Spider-Man 2 movie? Like that looked pretty cool. And you hear that and you're like, I'm sorry, what? Like I overheard Spider-Man. So yeah, that movie was super cool. And then you just like want to bombard them with like 40 years of knowledge of Spider-Man knowledge that like no one asked for. But hey, like, you want to talk about it.
Right. I went like my whole high school career wanting to talk to people about stuff and not being able to. Like, talk about how I hid my nerdiness by playing football.
Yep.
Right? I played football because I was athletic, right? So it's like I played football to hide that I was going home and reading comic books and watching Dragon Ball Z.
That was the thing, because even for like high school, like that was the thing. A lot of people at the school were always asking me of like, like during the games or after the games, anything like that. It's like what I was planning on doing or where I was doing, like before practice or during school, during lunchtime. And a lot of the time, I was always in the library with my best friend at the time, watching, like new video game trailers or that had just came out, or like new anime clips or superhero clips or whatever it was, like for just us to indulge and just dive in for like hours upon hours at school. Like rather when like people would see me normally like and would think like I'm one of the jocks, I'm one of the football and basketball guys. And I'm like, no, I'm one of the guys who hung out with the team, like, but as far as outside of practice, no one invited me to the parties. No one invited me, to the little, like I said, house parties or hangouts anywhere during this even school time. Like I just rode on the bus, played on the team, played in the game, and that was it. And that was the end of our relationship. Like outside of that, I am doing nerdy stuff. Like I'm talking about all the superhero stuff or in the new movies. And then the trailer that just came out, and talking 2 hours with my best friend about what do you think this movie's going to be about? Do you think it's going to be about this comic that they're like tying from? Because that could possibly be it. Or are they scrapping the whole idea and this is going to be something like entirely new? And so just having that connection and having that connection with everyone, even just at a con, as I was talking about before, was just absolutely incredible and just something I personally love. And from there, I just decided in 2019, when I got back to Reno, that at the start of the new year, I would fully dive into the bottomless vortex or bottomless pool, whatever we want to call it, known as cosplay.
I feel that, man. And again, just like because once you find your tribe, you with it, right? Like that was me and like my like three best friends. We watched a lot of like nerdy stuff, but we were also breakdancers, so it's kind of like that's where like we saved our cool factors. People thought that we were breaking, but we were also like we would go out, we would go to competitions, wear matching outfits, and they'd be Spider-Man, right? Or like we would do stuff like that, just like just hip hop style, right? But I mean, like our thing is like we were just sitting there watching movies, and hey, what movie are we gonna watch today? Things like that. So it's like it's kind of the same thing. Like they were also guys that played football, and we were just kind of just nerds that hid that we were nerdy, but we all knew we were nerdy. So we it was like nerds within the jock group, right?
Exactly. Like it was, we were the pioneers of what nerdism is today. Like we were the ones who invented the reason. Like, yes, you can also play football or play in the NFL and be a huge fan of anime or comic books and all that stuff. Like you don't have to choose, ladies and gentlemen out there and kids of the future.
Yeah. So we have a question from James. I wonder this too. He thought. James, co-host of the show, who's not on but on the build, he was talking about doing M'Baka as Black Panther because of your size.
Oh, dude!
I mean, I absolutely loved M'Baku, and I loved him even more in the sequel for Wakanda Forever. Like that was something where like I got to look at the character even more, and I think everybody else, will agree with that in the movie. Is that like it definitely gave him and the rest of the cast more of the spotlight now to share, and really like gave us a chance to really like dive in and take a look at like at just everybody, and see like why we love them as much as we did even in the first movie. So yeah, M'Baku is definitely to answer your question, M'Baku is definitely on the way very soon. The armor, last time I checked, my friend who made my Bowser cosplay, I was linking up with her, and we completely like taped and measured around my entire body and kind of drew out the outlines of the entire armor. So very, very soon, M'Baku will definitely be on the way to your nearest con, to TikTok, to just everything. And for me, that kind of creates more of that fun for me personally, because since I love to like get in character and and really, like create that accent and create more of like that personal connection just from myself and from my experience, bringing that character to life in my own way. Being Black Panther definitely has like it's super fun times, but also kind of has this drawback sometimes because obviously you have to be very kind of pulled back and very royalty. So like obviously you can make a joke here and there. You can be a little giggly, but that's kind of it. Like you can't like fully burst out in the laughter or kind of be, a little bit more of like a dickhead almost as like M'Baku would. So like that's something where like I look at M'Baku after the movie and I'm like, oh, I love him even more. And that final battle armor that he wore with the gorilla on the front, that was something I was so like in love with. So that was something I was like, yeah, I got to figure out how to do his armor. I got to figure out all this stuff so I can bring him to life because there's nothing that like I'm gonna have more fun with than walking around at a con, or even just charity event with our team or whatever, and kind of like I said, be able to poke that fun at whoever whenever anyone's around, and like I said, not be so royalty and pulled back. I can now really just be that more boastful. Like I can make a joke of like you. Why do you wear the hat that you do? It looks terrible. Take it off. Take it off. It looks terrible. Take it off. Take it off. You look absolutely dreadful. I don't know even why you would decide to wear something so just incredibly stupid. If one would, it is just stupid. I would agree full-heartedly if you were just to take it off. It would just look even cooler and just better for your self-confidence and for you as just a person in general. So do us all a favor and take it off. You look terrible. So it's like stuff like that like I'm so like ready to like dive in more and like really sink my teeth into and just just have an absolute blast.
Yeah, that is a pretty solid Nigerian accent, man.
Thank you. It definitely helps like from you guys or anybody that I've interacted with, like tell me that it's good because like for me it's like hearing like your voice back on like a voicemail or something and you're like, oh, that's what I sound like. Oh, ew. Like, oh, that sounds disgusting. Like, oh my god, like please just get it off the screen.
One of the things about voice acting, you have to listen to yourself a lot. So it's like,
oh yeah,
that sounds terrible. All right, let me go and redo this again. All right.
And that's like I know like for a fact I'm still like getting used to, but there's just times where I'll see in like a video or a TikTok or something, and I'm like, oh, that was absolutely terrible. I don't even know why I decided to just hit save and decide that's the perfect take. But it just helps, like I said, to have people like you or the typical I wouldn't even say Karens, but just let's say the typical Britneys out there in the world. Just the fantastic moms who haven't ever read a comic book in their life, and so like or watch any of the movies or anything in general. So like whenever I am like in the full suit here and like have the accent going and everything, and like I'm speaking to them and just out of nowhere they're like, where are you from? That is the most like beautiful accent. Like, oh my gosh, like I could just hear you talk for just days. Where are you from originally? And me continuing with the lie because what better way to make that a fun little game.
People, man, if you really wanted to mess with people, learn Afrikaans.
Yes, I'm currently like in the currently still like studying Swahili language, Xhosa. So I'm still like learning a little bit of that and like getting more phrases and stuff like that down. But yeah, this is something like I have such a blast with to just hear and lie and be like, I was adopted at 3 weeks, so I don't even know who like my real parents, let alone even my dad is. So like I'll lie and be like, so surprisingly enough, my mother is actually was here in Reno, same with me. I was born in Jerez, but my father and his side of the family is actually from Cape Town in South Africa. So. And unfortunately, I just haven't had the time or have even just let alone the money to just be able to go and go see everyone and really just go check out the land and just the landscape. So because I know the photos don't really do everything justice, but like I said, just being able to talk to them and they're like, that's incredible. That is absolutely beautiful. You have to go. You have to go. It's so beautiful down there. It's absolutely fantastic. And what is your name? And I'll like shake their hand and be like, T'Challa. It is T'Challa. And they're like, T'Challa? That's oh my gosh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. You're amazing. You have an absolute fantastic rest of your day, please. And then I'll just be like, you too. But it's just funny to like have like our team that's like hearing the BS, or my friends who like will like who don't know who kind of know I do cosplay, but they don't know like I do the accent and the suits and everything. And so like they'll see me kind of like do that, and they'll have to like turn around or turn away and like try not to like burst out laughing. Right. You know, just hearing like. For the last 3 minutes, I've had to just lie to this woman and her family about like, yeah. So you know, my son, my name means beautiful son, and yeah, I was born and raised here in Reno, Nevada, but I somehow inherited an accent from my father, who passed forever ago.
Jesus, man.
Wow.
It's great. Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I know one of these days, if I'm ever famous, I'm gonna get caught in it because I'm gonna have so many people like, so like, if I'm ever on like Hot Ones or something like that, and what's his name does the interview, and he's like, I remember one time you were telling like maybe 85 people in Reno, Nevada, like if not 102 people, like you were from South Africa, or your father was, and I'm like, yeah, so that was a lie. From like back in the olden days.
I'm from Reno, so it's like no.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no way.
You ever hit those unsuspecting white ladies with the Wakanda Forever?
Oh, all the time. I'll say like this: whenever you throw on the suit, I feel even more like Chadwick now, because whenever you're walking around at an event or a con or anywhere that's going on, especially if it's a giant public event. You better believe you're gonna get at least 5 Wakanda Forevers, either the salutes or just the full you salute with the yell from a distance or from like nearby people walking by. And again, for me, I'm here to like either grow my social media or again like inform people of Cosplay for Kindness. And so I'll always track them down and have them like grab a photo with us. So like I'll always, hear somebody or see someone do it and I'll be like, come here. What is your name? Brad. Oh, it's a pleasure meeting you, Brad. I'm Team T'Challa. So the next question I have to ask, since you know the Sacred Wakandan salute is, would you like to take a picture with me and the rest of the heroes here behind me? You would? All right, fantastic. Then come here and follow me. I'll have you pose right here in the middle, in between all of us, and give us your best super pose. You can choose the Wakanda Forever, the Spider-Man pose, or Thwip, whichever you would like, or anything, and then we'll pose all around you. And most of the time, they'll usually do Wakanda Forever anyway, but that's just something like I always like be sure to like grab those people. So like it's not so like the awkward moment of me walking by and they'll be like, Wakanda Forever! And then I have to like shout it back like it's some awkward situation. I have to just be like, you know that exactly. You know Trevor, you know the Sacred Wakandan salute. Come here. It's good that you've done your studying and your homework. That is good for you. I'm glad to see. So, would you like to take a picture? Yes, it is free, of course. Yes, then perfect. Have you stand right here next to me. And as I assume, once again, the Sacred Wakandan salute. Yes, fantastic, good. You've been studying. Then we shall hold this for your picture. And I'll do that and teach like even little kids who are like huge fans, but they kind of know the Wakanda Forever, but they don't. And so like I'll have to like teach them like in a cool or in my own way, or at least like when I went to Disneyland Avengers Campus last year for my birthday. And I got the chance to see some of my friends who are some of the castmates and also one of the Wakanda Dora Milaje over there at the park. And so I got the chance to like see their show and how like the door really does it with Okoye and the rest of the Warriors, and like, ask the question of like, what is your name? And like, what is something that makes you strong? And like all like little things like that, and like little interactions and stuff like that I watched almost all day on like that, on like a Friday or a Saturday when I was there for that whole weekend, and just really got to like almost study like homework, like where I'm just standing in the back of like, okay, I've already interacted with them before. This is super fun to see, but like now it's time to like take some notes. So I was just back like behind the crowd on my phone, listening in, being like, okay, so that's how they said that. They introduced the rest of the crowd and the people to come by and take a picture. What makes them strong? Okay. And then the little phrases they use, okay, I'll type that in. So I've kind of like, I wouldn't say I've borrowed, or I've kind of brought in my own interpretation and my own interaction way from Disney without saying I've stolen it. So I don't get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And if my wife would let me, I'd love to get into cosplaying myself, but I just wanted a Balin's, out from Ahsoka. But I'm interested in, how do you get your costumes? Do you collaborate with someone? Do you make them yourself? Is it a combination of everything?
So at least for me, usually most of mine are all bought. Especially this one here. This one was made by a company out in France that makes like movie grade style suits. Their name is for anyone here in the comments listening, Parallel Life Studios, a fantastic company and people. They do fantastic suits and everything. But like I said, for just all the suits and cosplays that I have, usually for me, a lot of them I've bought online, and then I've like modified here and there. So maybe like certain armor pieces or certain things that are like part of the outfit that I thought maybe I could try my hand at as far as crafting and kind of like test myself and kind of train myself that way. Then I'll make, a little like minor piece, like for my Scorpion cosplay, for example. Everything came in as bought, but I made the sword holsters for both my katanas on my sword, or for my swords on my hip, and then I made the forearm gauntlets and bracers. So those were two things I just decided to just like try my hand at, and like test my skills and see like how far I am or what I need to work on, and borrow some tips from other friends and some of the people that's part of Cosplay for Kindness.
Would you say you tested your might?
Yes, very much so. I have definitely tested my might fully on those swords, especially, in everything. I have done that vividly. I have tested my might, and I've died a couple of times because of it. But I kept hitting respawn and retry, and we're back at it.
All right, try number 752. Let's do this.
There you go. Let's see if we can get it this time.
So what's it like in the full costume? Do you ever get hot, especially in Reno and San Diego and the California areas?
Very much so. Very much so. But again, for me, everyone, like, once again, when it comes to cosplay, when you're joining and doing this, I'm going to sound like a teacher and sound like your football coaches and everything, and even your parents. Yes, I know. But take care of your body. Listen to it. Rest when you can. Hydrate every minute on the minute, not on the hour, not every at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. No, all throughout the day. Hydrate. Be sure to eat. Get some rest. Take a break. All of that stuff. Do it. Please do. It helps your con experience 1,000%. But for me, I don't take my own advice, and so I don't really do any of that. And so whenever, for example, we'll do like an outside event for Cosplay for Kindness, and again, it'll be a gigantic public event, and like basically almost all of like the city of Reno and Sparks is here to just like indulge in the event and check out whatever thing is going on in an event that we're a part of. Right. And it'll be fun, and everybody else is probably cooking in like they're probably burning up, and I'm yelling at them to do the same of like, take care of your body, drink some water, like rest up, go to the bathroom, do what you can, like please, like don't suffer because like you have to be here. Like no, like you guys know me, like I care about your guys' health more than like I do you guys being in cosplay or enjoying the event. I care about your health at the end of the day. And so, you know, I yell at them to do that. But like when any of the parents or anybody is like, aren't you hot in all that black? You gotta be cooking. And I'll just lie and be like, you know, surprisingly enough, the suit is very breathable, which it is, but still, I haven't drank water for the last like probably 5 hours because, you know, I've just been too busy trying to get all the pictures taken and all the people to come over and take a picture with us and interact with every single kid that we see that walks by or to interact with. So that's normally how I go about it with a con, with an event or anything, is that like I don't take care of myself and I'm way too stubbornly humble and modest to even accept a break. So I've had so many friends like get me food or get me a bottle of water or anything, and I'll lie and be like, I drank some water long before you came back, or I ate, you know, a huge breakfast, you know, long before I even came. So trust me, I'm A-okay. Or I'll make up a lie and be like, I'm vegan, so I can't have that entire plate of chicken that you got for me. I really appreciate that, but can't do it. Sorry. I had a full bowl of lettuce this morning before I came.
I had a full bowl of lettuce. That should already tell you that you're fucking lying, man.
Exactly right. You know, I had half a pea, so I'm okay.
I'm good.
As I always say, and this is something that I do say all the time, because I will admit that sometimes I get so caught up in cosplay that I'll drink water. But I mean, like the big thing is stay hydrated, stay alive. I say it all the fucking time.
Yes.
So that is just me, you know, flapping my gums and saying, "Hey, stay hydrated." I'm being serious. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay alive. I have gotten out of my suit because you see how fucking hot my suit is, right? It's not only something. It's fleece, so it's hot as shit. But I mean, like, you know, I'm bad about that too. I will drink a whole gallon of water getting out of that suit.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's same. When I finally like get unzipped out of it and, you know, get like the smallest like swig of water, like that my body's just been craving all day, like it'll just drink it up like a camel, where like my body will just soak it in a matter of a millisecond, and I'll be like, wow, my body was actually hot and a little dehydrated. That's crazy. Man, science is wacky, man. Like
Science is weird.
It's crazy. Man, like the body can do some crazy things out there, can it?
Whoa!
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, your Black Panther, your Black Adam is amazing. I love your bear. I love Final Fantasy VII tremendously, and your Beefcake Bowser.
Thank you. You know, the fun thing with Barrett is that like growing up, I wasn't like the biggest Final Fantasy fan. Like I didn't ever like play the games or really know anything too much about it. Like I always I knew the characters and how they looked, but again, like as far as like just the combat system and stuff like that, I was never a fan of growing up. And then when the remake came out, or at least was about to come out, my one of my cosplay friends at the time, you know, was a huge fan of the series and just the entire franchise. And he's has like multiple Cloud cosplays and has like remade Cloud Sword like 80,000 times. And that was something. Oh, the commitment he's able to make on those swords, it's incredible. He gets better every time. But that was something he was like, look, I know how you are with like staying in character and like, you know, being interactive with people, especially like, you know, with just people from that universe and all that type of stuff. Like, I get it. But like, there's this dude named Barrett Wallace that you would absolutely do fantastic on. You would have a blast doing it. You should check it out. Like the remake's out. I don't know, like you have to either play the game or watch one of the movies. I have it. I'll let you borrow it. Like, just please check it out when you can. And so I got off the phone with him and looked up just a random compilation on YouTube for when the game was out for the remake. And the first compilation I watched was a little YouTube compilation with Marlene and Barrett. And like halfway through the compilation, I paused the video and immediately like texted him in all caps, "I'm in." Like I immediately loved the character. Like just like I could just tell immediately how he carried himself and what type of character he was. Like and how like hardened of a badass he pretends to be, and of course is at times. But obviously, when he's home and he's near Marlene, he is the absolute like biggest teddy bear on the planet for his daughter. Like, and no one can tell him any different. Like his daughter Marlene is like the planet he is trying to save, and no one else can like tell him anything else. So that was something. Like I saw how cute he was and how cute she was, and I was like, okay, whatever this game is about and franchise, I'm in, dog. Who's this? This is Barrett, bro. I'm in. Like, what do we do about the gun? Like, we then like really started like talking of like linking up to like make the gun and like do different parts, like where to get the jacket, like how to like do the pants and where to get some boots and all that type of stuff. So like we were just like scouring everywhere for like everything we could to like make that gun, because I was absolutely ecstatic like the entire way through making that project, and I absolutely love like the way it's come out. And I can't wait to improve the gun even more and just the entire cosplay. And yeah, it's just I love it. I love it.
What's the gun made out of, if you don't mind me asking?
EVA foam and PVC pipes from Home Depot.
Okay. So it's pretty lightweight then to carry around.
Oh, very. Very, very lightweight.
And when you see it in person, dude, that thing is awesome.
Oh man. Like I said, I love it. So, well, how long does it take you to make a costume? Do you think from start to finish, or is it always kind of like a work in progress? Usually,
I'll just speak as every other cosplayer. It's usually a work in progress. Like, it kind of also depends on the project, and like really what it is. Like, if it's something like Barrett, like for the gun, it took me, I want to say, well, it took the both of us because he helped me, like get the template ready and a lot of stuff helped, like with the shaping and all that stuff. I thank him a lot. But it took us about, I want to say, maybe like a month or two to get it done. We could have been done with it a lot faster, but we were also procrastinating a lot. So like a lot of it was like, oh no, it's cold out. Well, I guess we can't work on the gun today. Tomorrow maybe. And then like then before you know it, like 3 Fridays have already passed, and then you're like, oh, geez, we like really haven't worked on this gun. I got all. So let's get them together and do that. So it usually like depends on like what the project is, but usually with depending on, I'd say sometimes like a few months sometimes. But usually it's always just like improvements that you're always looking at that you're like, that was, because this gun was like my first ever like big project that I've ever like crafted and ever worked on. And there's certain stuff like on the arm that like I personally want to update and use, because I have like more different skills now and experience with it. And so like I know like how it was originally done, and so I know like what stuff to improve upon, what parts to replace or rebuild on, or dismantle it all and to restart from the top. So it's little things like that you're constantly working on, either on your props or even just on your outfit in general, where you're like, I personally never liked the belt that like, that like I ordered the cosplay from, like the belt is really cheaply made. And so let me make my own belt, or let me make my own like weapon prop, or let me, go elsewhere to find like, a better belt or better strap or better thing here and there to like really bring it together a little more and, bring more of that feel for me that I feel it would really, fit and connect well. So yeah, it's usually always a work in progress. At least it is constantly for me, because, as cosplayers, we're the ultimate perfectionists and we don't know when to stop.
You
I mean,
are your ultimate critic because you're always going to critique the worst.
Totally.
Anybody else
Yep.
would ever critique you on. It's like, Cam, you know a lot about that.
Oh yes, yes I do.
and I get that because I got the HasLab Proton Pack, and I've been tweaking it so much, putting real pieces onto it, and it's just continuous work.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I'm not even cosplaying yet. I'd love to. If I don't need another hobby that's cost me money, my wife would kill me. But no, I mean, I'll have to get your contact information, see who your contacts are, because I'd love to get a couple of costumes going. Because your stuff
Definitely. Thank God. I definitely have a lot of people who I'm still constantly like learning from, and you know, getting new tips from. Even some of the people in Cosplay for Kindness, some of them have been cosplaying just as long as some of the people I met when we first created the organization. And yeah, so some, like I said, have been cosplaying, like I said, 10 to 15, some 20 years. So they have obviously all the experience in the world when it comes to sewing, whether with a machine or hand sewing and handcrafting everything, you know, sanding some stuff, everything there is to know when it comes to crafting. So I definitely have thankfully tons of connections and people to work with and like really get that experience from to learn either like the do's and don'ts, maybe some new stitch patterns on like how to make something last a little more instead of you know certain things here and there.
So speaking of that, right? Like we've mentioned it a couple of times so far, but tell us about Cosplay for Kindness, man. I know it's a nonprofit, but I mean, like, how did that all come about? How did you kind of come up with the idea to start that?
So I always like to love telling the story. So there was a superhero themed father-daughter dance at one of the local churches here in Reno, and once again, it was right after or right in 2019. So that same year where I had like agreed, like I'm diving into cosplay, like I'm really wanting to like dive into this and see like where this leads me, like and they were just asking anybody who happened to have anything superhero related to come by, dance with the families, take some pictures with the kids and families that are there, dance, really just come on and just have a good time. So it was a fantastic event. It was such a small little event, but it was great the way they did it. And me and 3 or 4 other random people decided to show up, and we had an absolute blast the entire day. And at the end of it, some of the proceeds that were left over from the event, the church decided to just give to us and just donate to us out of just being there and just being kind. And so we used that to all go out to dinner together. We all decided to go to I believe it was a buffet all together. So all 4 of us, like, yep, so all 4 or 5 of us hit that up, and just decided there was no organization like this in Reno. I know there is one like this in Vegas and tons in California, but there's none here locally. So we just decided, why not? Why not? Let's see what happens. Let's see where it leads. And since then, we've had we've grown to about 20 members. And we're still growing and making an impact in our community. We're currently in the process of speaking with a attorney and getting them to get all of our paperwork signed and paid for and all that stuff, so we can officially be an official 501c3 nonprofit, which we can then get back into the hospitals to make more of an impact. And everything there, because before the pandemic, I want to say it seemed like almost every weekend we had something that was going on, or at least every other weekend, which was definitely great. But like I said, after the pandemic hit, it completely put everything on pause and hit like the reset button on all of us, which obviously was for everybody else in a lot of businesses. And when they opened everything back up, the hospitals obviously were being a little more strict and were needing more
Right.
validation and more
Right.
official paperwork, which 1000% agree and understand. And that was something we decided, like, okay, so let's see what the steps are to make us an official nonprofit. And so we decided to look up all the steps and speak with a representative to tell us, like, okay, so you need this, you need to get like a team of board members, you need to do this and this. And for us, being the way we were and going about things, we already had a template. We just, at this point, just needed to get the funds to be able to get an attorney and get all that paperwork and stuff paid for and signed for. So we can have those other businesses and organizations that we've partnered with over the years to officially partner with and have them donate, funds to us. So there's at least, something to track instead of them being like, we were looking back at your taxes and it seemed like last year you donated $700 to $1,000 to just these random people in Reno somewhere. Like, you mind explaining that? So that definitely helps everybody now to track where the money's going and makes it easier. But it all in general, it's been an absolute honor, and it's just been an absolute blast to just have everybody from all different experiences on the team that are all learning from each other, who are like me, who started in 2019, some who started decades earlier, some who started during or after the pandemic. So there's just a constant team and just kinship with all of us that we're constantly growing and building on, of learning from one another. And yeah, just really growing to just be a more of a family than I would say a team.
That's amazing, man.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Do you see yourself doing this for, you said, the people you met 10, 15, 20 years?
Oh yeah. I don't see myself going good, like stopping at any time soon, and I definitely don't plan on it. Even when I was telling my family, like, hey, I'm going to be doing cosplay, and stuff like that. And when I was explaining to them like what it was, my family was so like nonchalant and chill about it, because like they knew, like, from when they would come over to my house when I was a kid, they'd see me running around or in the living room acting out all of the action and fighting scenes, and like I said, just action scenes in general from almost every superhero film that I had on DVD or VHS for years. And so like there'd be times where like they would just come over to just hang out and visit and see how my mom and I were doing. And there I would be in my Spider-Man costume that I've completely grown out of at that point. Like, like the mask starting to rip along the eyes, like the costume was starting to get tight and stretchy in certain areas, and just completely worn out.
When you're 6 years old and you're already working out, man, you grow out of that Spider-Man costume pretty quick.
Oh, very, very quick. But at the time, you could not tell me that. Like, at the time, like, I remember one time my mom and I were going to, it was Kmart. Yeah, because Kmart was still open at the time. And, and I was in the middle of acting out Spider-Man 2, I think, or maybe Spider-Man 1. I was acting out like an action scene or something like that in my room. And my mom wanted to ask if I wanted to go to the store or whatever with her. And I was like, sure. But I was like begging her, like, I don't want to take off my costume, please. And so we agreed to do that. And I like put on my normal like clothes over it. So I like rolled up the sleeves like up to my arms and whatever, and had like the entire suit covered except maybe the little, like, I think I wore like a polo shirt or whatever, but I had like the first couple buttons like opened just so that way you could see like the little Spider-Man emblem if I were to ever do this. So like it was something that was so like me just looking at it in character. I was just walking around Kmart. I don't know what we were buying at the time, but I was walking around like, these people here don't even know I'm Spider-Man right now, but like I know. So like I'm just imagine a little like kid, small little kid my age, that's just like that, walking around like in a polo shirt and pants, just walking around like, They don't even know what's behind this shirt. But if there were a fire to break out right now, don't worry, everyone's getting out of here.
I am Spiderman.
No, exactly. I am Spiderman. I am Spiderman. You.
Yeah, that's like you said. That's why am I? Okay, we lost him there. All right, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I'll age myself here. In kindergarten, I wore my Ghostbusters jumpsuit with my plastic proton pack, like at least once a week. This is just wearing your clothes to kindergarten. I'm like, I don't care.
Yep, I think I did that too. Except like, I think for me, I think I like snuck my costume to school. I think like one day, like I did the same method, except like I really I hunkered down and made sure like mom does not see any part of like this costume anywhere. Like it is hidden. And then like I was telling a few of my friends like hey, just let you know, I got the Spider-Man costume on, so like just know like it's about to go down at recess. So like I was like counting down the minutes for recess, and when it happened, yep, you better believe I was full superheroed out. I'm like, okay, let's take off our shirt and take off our pants, and I immediately like jumped onto the playground and like hung out with everybody. Everybody was like all like, it's Spider-Man. So like we were all like playing around at school that day. That was that was a fun day until my mom was called.
Yeah.
Until mom was called, until she found out like you took that suit to school, like that was
what?
Yeah, that was a fun drive home.
I'm sure.
What you're talking
you
about?
Ever do that again?
Exactly. Oh, I got an earful and a lipful. I got it all, but at the time, like again, during that time at recess, I mean, you could tell me the world was about to end. Like later that, like in the next 2 minutes, I wouldn't care because I'm in my Spider-Man costume, hanging out with my friends, swinging around, jumping on the swings and on the playground and stuff, and just being Spider-Man.
It sounds like you kind of wanted them to tell you that the world was about to end so you could be Spider-Man.
Yeah. Basically, with how troublesome I was as a kid, with like sneaking around, like trying to like do little like costume stuff like that. Oh yeah. Like at that point, I was almost waiting for trouble to happen, so I could be like, I'm here to save the day.
Well, it looks like it's time for Flip Man. Flip. Especially like with kids like us, like with our imaginations, it wasn't just a thwip. Like you really thought you were thwipping, and fucking spider goo was coming out.
Oh yeah. Every time I was for sure like the fool, like Toby, like bro, like this is organic, dog. Like I don't need to like go back home and be like, oh no, I'm out of cartridges. Like bro, like this is organic, dog. This is inside. Like this is it's more here than it is here. Like it's how I feel, and I feel like Spider-Man, and so I'm set, dog. I can swing wherever I want, all around the schoolyard.
So with all your cosplays you do, what's your favorite cosplay that you've done?
Oh man, to be honest, I'd probably say all of them. Just because, like I was saying earlier, I mean, just for me, it's the fun challenge of staying in character and challenging myself in every way I can to bring like those characters to life. Like when it comes to Black Panther, like I mean, it's using some of the methods of being a leader and being a ruler and stuff like that like I use in my everyday life, or when it comes to just cosplay stuff of like speaking to executives and speaking to more like high experience like business people for Cosplay for Kindness, which is like something I never thought I'd be able to do. And being able to like alter my voice that way and bring the character to life that way, and to stay in shape best I can, and take on a diet and all that stuff, just everything to really bring the character to life that way, alter my voice any way I can. And for like Killer Bee or from Naruto or for Barrett, like it's that challenge, like I said, of just of looking at it like an actor, like through like an actor's lens, where like, you know, normally at home I'm a very boring and kind of chill person. So like this is a chance I really get to test at like a con, which is, you know, 8 to 9 hours, if not longer, like to really like test my voice and test my vocals and test stuff like that. Where like for Killer B, like who's a character who's very eccentric and has to rap and rhyme everything like he does, like is like a fun challenge for me because I don't know how to rap or rhyme at all. And so having to like have my brain work like a mile a minute or a mile a second to try and figure out, you know, what to say and how to rhyme something with everything I say, no matter like if the question is as simple as like, hey man, how's your day? Like I now have to like try and figure out something like what rhymes with day. Go, and you know, work on it that way. And like I said, bring the character to life that way. So that way, at least, you know, people can recognize me more that way whenever I like hand out a sticker or something or whatever it is, and you know, have people you know, remember like 18 months down the road of like, oh yeah, remember that like and like, you know, would see my sticker or something and be like, oh yeah, I remember that one cringy, you know, Bowser or Killer B, whoever it was that I met at like at that one con, you know, like, you know, years ago. Exactly, that one loser, and you know, and would, you know, check out my page later on and, you know, and follow her just to again have like a cool sticker to whoever. It's totally cool with me, and so that was something I always look at.
You're that
love that job.
Bowser, aren't you? Just like.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've definitely had some. I've definitely had some interactions like outside of cosplay where, one time it was like a monthly event that was going on at our automobile museum, and they would have like some sort of like themed event. Like sometimes it'd be like this month it'd be like superhero themed, and then next month it would be like princesses or like cars or something or dinosaurs. Since my accent when I do Black Panther is already difficult enough for a kid to understand, having a helmet on makes it 10,000 times harder for them to hear me. So like all day, like with the helmet on, it'd be sounding like, "Hey, so how was your day? How was your day?" Take off my helmet and I'd be like, "So how was your day? Are you good?" And they'd be like, yeah, I'm having fun." And I'd be like, "Okay, now you understand me. Okay, so do you want to take a picture? Okay, great. Then walk over here. Then you know, we'll do that and interact with them that way." So yeah, it's just really like I said, having like those fun little challenges just throughout. Being able to do that, and so again, I definitely have those moments where like I normally walk around like with my helmet in my hand, just interacting with everyone and everything that I can that way. And you know, I always like forget, like the only time I ever do put on my helmet is when I'm like taking a picture, usually a lot of the time. And so like one time we got done with one of the events, and we saw like these kids maybe like 2 times in maybe like the matter of like an entire weekend, if not maybe like in a span of maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So after I saw them, I was over at the Little Caesars over here by my house, and I was just sitting there like leaning against the wall, waiting for my food to come out, and I noticed there was these 2 little boys, and the oldest kid, who was the brother, was kind of pushing his little brother in front of him to kind of have both of them kind of like build that courage of like, don't worry, we'll ask them together. But at the same time, like I'm also kind of nervous to ask them. And so like they like walked up, and the littlest one had walked up and was like, "Are you Black Panther?" And I was like immediately like, but in my head I was like, "How do you know?" I remember them from these last couple of events we just did. I remember talking to them. And so I immediately like turned it on in like a second. And so I was like, yes, I am. How are you 2 doing? Are you good? Oh, that's good. That's fantastic. I'm so glad you guys had a fantastic day today at today's event. It was so awesome seeing you. What are you getting? Are you getting a pizza? What the next question? What is your favorite pizza? Pepperoni. That is mine too. That is definitely one of the greatest. Like at the time, I'm just like buying time until like the dad gets his pizza because he's right there at the counter, I think, about to pay for it and then leave. So like I think like the dad also noticed. So like at the time I'm just like buying time with like small little questions to like keep it going and still keep it like, yes, I am still the Black Panther. Like, but you don't know. And again, the only thing I still had on like from my suit earlier that day from the event was like my athletic leggings under my shorts and my Black Panther socks. Other than that, that was it. I was like very like incognito. Like you probably wouldn't be able to tell. So that was just something like I was just speaking to them until like the dad was walking out, and as soon as he was leaving, he had got his boys to walk out first, and then he was like, "Thank you," and then had like left, and I was like, "No problem." So that was something I was so like, that is the cutest moment that I think I've ever had, like outside of costume, where like I still have like the kids still notice that it's still me, like outside of costume, or times where we still run into like the same kids and the same same families, because they'll be at a lot of the public events that we'll all be at the same time, and so there'll be times where like they'll see me first because like they're huge Black Panther fans, and so like I always make sure like, okay, so if you're the best fan, okay, so if you're like my number one fan, then perfect. I'll try and make sure like this memory really like sticks with you. And so like they'll see me from like a distance and run up and be like, "Hi, Black Panther, how are you doing? I didn't know you were here." And I'm like, "I didn't even know you were here. How's it going? How's it going, you two? Okay, I see the both of you are still good. Okay, good. Are we all ready to take another picture? All right. You all know the drill. Over here." So then they'll like charge over like with our team or whoever like characters is there for today, and we'll like get a group picture together and interact with them that way. I kind of have like a little high five game. I'll try and like play with them. So like I'll try and have them like give me a high five, and I'll either like play it off either how strong they are, or sometimes I'll like try and like do a quick fake like with them, and then I'll be like, "Remember, I'm a panther. Panthers are quick. Remember, quick, quick, quick." Okay. I can see you're very eager. I can see because they may be a little shy, and that'll I think be something that can kind of like bring them a little bit out of the shell. How I see it, and I'll like try like I said play with them that way, and and I see they're really like giggly and happy because they're more out of their shell now, and so I'll be like, "I can see you're very eager. Okay. Breathe with me. Okay, we'll do a quick exercise. Okay, remember. Think quick, therefore you are. Okay, remember, quick." So then like they'll like bat it, and I'll do it like slow enough where like they'll hit it, and then I'll be like, "There you go. You see, that's how you do it. You see, okay, remember that as long as you are calm and relaxed, and then you will be just as strong, if not stronger, than the rest of us characters here, if not even better. So just remember that, okay? You promise? Pinky promise. Okay, great. Well, then it is awesome seeing you, Connor or something, or like, "Hunter, it's a pleasure seeing you. Then you have an awesome day, okay? Well, then goodbye." And then that'll literally be the end of the thing. So like I'm always like trying to do that with like the shyest ones that are like so like shy to like the party. So I'll like try and do my best to bring them out their shell. So it makes it even better being like, trust me, I know it's a surprising interaction. I know you're used to seeing us on just the television and in the video games, and that's it. And when I hear from you, I get it. I understand. It's very like hyper and exciting. But right now, we need to just breathe. But it's okay. It's okay. We're still here. We're not gonna do anything. We're here to have fun and say hello to you. So, are you ready for a picture? Okay, great, perfect. Then walk over here, and we'll give us your best super pose. I know you practice. So then they'll do that, and it would be like the end of the interaction. But it's always a fantastic event, and for me a very enlightening one, where I always say any excuse we get to throw on any of our suits and bring that Disney magic here locally is just worth it, because you could have be having the worst. I'm gonna sound like the intro from Friends. You could have like the worst month, week, and even year with just life in general. But just being able to be around like-minded nerds at a con, or being able to see kids who you even see in yourself, where you're like, you literally are like me. Like, I've never seen a kid that whose mannerisms, excitedness, and hyperactiveness is exactly like how I was at your age. Exactly like how I was. So like, I'm gonna try and like, make this as memorable for you, so in the future, like you can do the exact same thing and be just as awesome and just as like enthusiastic about all this, and much more of like a freeing space because you're here. So why not, make it a memorable one, just like how it was for me. And hopefully we'll see you down the line whenever you're famous. And I'm like, I remember you when I was like from 40 years ago when I was young and petite.
That's awesome.
So where do we go in order to start the petition for Brandon to work for Disney? Because I mean, like,
trust me, I've already had a lot of my friends who work there at the parks. Like even when I was there for my birthday last year, I went Disney bounding because my birthday is actually this month, and like 10 days before Halloween on the 21st. When I went down for Disney, I was like fully like Disney bound. I didn't go in the suit, but I went in the purple and silver robe that T'Challa wore in the Black Panther movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, the royal garb. And so I wore that to my Disney trip along with my little Disney ears, as you can see right there behind me. I was just walking around and interacting with everything and having a blast and like seeing my friends at work, which was something I was so like, oh, so this is cool to like see my friends kind of at work in character. This is fun. This is kind of cool. And to just be able to, like I said, like do that. And I interacted with like even just I'm forgetting what they're called, but like the like in character security kind of dudes that are like with characters.
Character handlers.
Thank you, character handlers. Thank you. And so I was interacting with them in the accent and telling them like, yeah, so I'm like friends with some of the other actors and stuff, and I've always like wanted to like do this, but until then, I have like some connections here in Reno. I kind of have to clear it first before I can think about moving to California to like maybe see where that goes. So I was like interacting with them the whole time, and obviously, at that point last year, Wakanda Forever was coming out the next month. And so like, I want to say in maybe like another week or two, they literally were about to start bringing in the Wakanda Forever like exhibit and kind of like, decking out all of like Avengers Campus and like the Wakanda Forever Black Panther related stuff for the movie, and bringing out, M'Baku and Shuri in her new costume and all that other type of stuff. And that was something like, they were like, well, if you're ever here again, we do have Wakanda Forever hitting the park in a few weeks. And I'm like, I know, but like, I don't even know how much money it was that my girlfriend at the time and her family like spent on us just to come here for this weekend. So like, if I had the money, I promise I would be here almost every weekend. Like if I lived here in Cali, I promise you I would be here every single weekend. You would know me for a fact. Like it'd be a no-brainer that I'd be here.
Annoyed with me at this point.
Exactly, right, exactly. At that point, it was the same thing where they're like, well, I mean, we are also still kind of hiring for M'Baku, so if you're ever interested in I was like, don't tempt me. I know, but like I
move to
exactly like you're speaking my language, but I have stuff in Reno I have to do first. Like I can't just drop everything and get hired. I can't. I want to, but like guys, work with me. Like just keep this attraction here for like the next couple years until I get hired there, and then we can do whatever we want to it. But like for now, just keep the exhibit here for a few years, please.
That's awesome. Have you, by any chance, ever met any of the actors of the characters you portray?
Not yet. Actually, I had a chance in 2017 for San Diego Comic-Con. I had a chance. Well, I was only at the con for that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was only there for a few hours in the day, maybe like 4 or 5 hours tops, just because, like I said, like I didn't understand like comfortable footwear. So like the shoes they gave me for my cosplay, like they were fine, but obviously like very thin at the bottom. So like it would have helped if I had some like insoles or something to go along with it to make it more comfortable. But like I only lasted a few hours until my feet were like, bro, you gotta take us off. Like we gotta go back to the hotel, dog. We're not gonna make it. So I was doing that, and plus at the same time, I was also kind of worried to where my car was parked, because my car was parked at one of the parks that was like a couple feet away, like from the convention center. But at the same time, I was so worried about that, like, and my car getting towed for some reason, even though like I'm also forgetting I'm at San Diego Comic-Con. Like most, if not all of downtown San Diego is fucking blocked off for this con. Like, I'm sure like no one's gonna care about all these other cars that are parked in this park all day. You're gonna be fine. They're more worried. They have more stuff to worry about here at the con happening than it is one minor car that's parked over here in a park that all these other cars are parked at, probably for the same con reason. So like you're fine. But that was something I was so like in my head, like, oh no, like I don't want to like go back, like at the end of the con and like have my car towed and gone. Like, how are we gonna get to our hotel and blah blah blah? Like my brain was just so worried about that. And when I got back to our hotel to rest, the cast of it was the whole weekend. So the cast of Black Panther was there to do free signings like at the Marvel booth at the con. So literally all you had to do was just get in the giant line and walk up and go get your stuff signed, and that's it for free. Like all the castmates, from Chadwick to M'Baku to Shuri to Okoye and I believe a few of the other characters, like they were sitting right there at the Marvel booth. That's all you had to do. And my feet were they were destroyed. Even at the hotel, I was like watching in disgust on Facebook, because that's how I knew. I was just like, that was a great con. I wish like I could have stayed longer, but like I literally can't. Like I can't even like stand up to walk to the bathroom right now without it hurting like excruciatingly. And then the first thing I do when I open up Facebook, we're here at the Marvel booth right now. We have the cast of Black Panther right here to like get your stuff signed. So if you guys are here at the con and you have your badges, just get right here in the giant line and come up and get your stuff signed. They'll be here all day to get your stuff signed. That's awesome. And I was on my phone like,
I imagine you went full Ryan Reynolds in that moment, like, me.
Oh, I was pissed. Oh, I was beyond pissed. I could not stop staring at my phone in anger and sadness and disgust. And then I think it was like that Friday or that Sunday, they also had the cast of Daredevil season 2. So where Punisher and Elektra was coming out, they were also doing the same thing at the Marvel booth later one of the other days. And again, once again, my feet were still killing me. So I was only there for like 4 or 5 hours from the start of the day until, like I said, like midway through the day, that I was like, yeah, I've got to get to the hotel. My feet aren't going to survive any longer. Like I can't. And yeah, so once again, had to just watch on Facebook and Instagram all day of both those casts being there at the Marvel booth, just signing stuff away. If you're welcome, if you're there. So that's something I'm not gonna let that sticks with me so much that I'm like, if I only studied more, like So that's one con I wish I could go back to and redo. It was a fun con, but I wish I could go back and just redo everything, like with just my now knowledge of cons. I wish. Nothing more upsetting.
All right. So, do you have any other upcoming projects that you can share with us that don't want to keep any juicy tidbits?
I don't think so. I think M'Baku was literally probably the biggest thing I think I probably have coming up. I got some small little like minor small film projects and stuff that I'm doing. That'll be hitting YouTube sometime soon. I'll be sure to post that on my social medias. Again, just M'Baku is probably just the biggest one that I just am like so ecstatic to just have done and have ready to just debut. I don't know if I'll debut it at a SAC Anime or at another con sometime next year or even later this year at a Fan Expo if it's done in time. I have no clue. So just for now, be on the lookout.
I'm excited to see that. I really
I'm excited. Oh, I'm like still geeking about it, just thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna have the staff because like my friend, she's a huge like sucker for like big props, and she's also like a Winston Duke simp. So as soon as she was like, "Have you thought about M'Baku?" I'm like, "I have." And since you did a fantastic job on my Bowser, how do you feel about working on my M'Baku? If you don't mind. She's like, you had me at yes, I'm doing M'Baku. So obviously.
So that's supposed to be the Elixir Lab.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm staring here, looking at it. It's like, which part of Hogwarts is that?
Yeah, that's where the majority of what I've been building the whole episode was really more just like the top
base,
the floor.
There is, yeah, I know, right? Like this part right here is supposed to be like the gardens for all the rooms, but then a lot of it was really just like the front of the castle, like right there,
the cliffside.
Wow,
the exciting side, yes,
right. It is the most exciting castle.
It's the iconic movie point.
Yeah,
of where they come up on the boats once.
Well,
yes,
I mean, like you have to put those parts of the castle, right? I mean, like in order for me to put the rest of the castle on here, you have to do like the little base area. So,
and the running joke I've been doing, that's where Ron Weasley peed himself for the 8th time that year.
Ron Weasley.
That the guy has had. It seemed like he had like the shyest bladder.
Dumbledore.
Oh man,
Severus Snape.
Dumbledore.
Man,
I'm gonna. Jeez, there's gonna be an earworm in my ear now. I'm gonna have to like play that video as soon as I'm done with this. Go on YouTube and be like, "Oh, the good old days of internet when we were starting YouTube and we didn't know really what to do with it, but it was YouTube."
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So let's get back to learn a little about you. We have some hard hitting questions here. If a movie was made about your life, who would you want to play you and why?
Oh, I would probably say Terry Crews, because since a lot of people are always, at least like growing up, we're always making that joke. Because since like I also love to dance, like because I once again I'm very boring. Like I barely drink and I barely smoke. So like when it comes to like exactly, so when it comes to like a rave or like a dance party of any sort, I just need the DJ to play the music. I'll figure out the rest. Literally, I'll be lit the whole night. Just play the jams, DJ. I don't need nothing else from you, dog. So that was something. Yeah. Exactly. Like if you're gonna drop the beat and drop the bass, do it now. Like it is time. So growing up, a lot of people were always like making the white jokes reference of me dancing like that all the time. I still don't know why I haven't done that. It's like a Halloween.
There you go.
Costume, but I might as well do it one of these
You're just gonna walk around shirtless with a whistle.
Yep.
There you go. And then just LEDs wrapped around my forearms.
There you go.
That's all I need. Yeah, that's it.
The best part of that is just seeing how many people realize that you're Terry Crews.
Oh, they'll realize it as soon as they either hear the music or see the dance. And so you kind of need it like as one of those like 2 extra things to like help with it. But again, like we all have like big old boom boxes and loudspeakers we can just kind of blast as we just walk around. So I can just get some normal pants, maybe like or my speakers like loop it like around my belt or something like that, or like belt loop, and I'm done. That's it.
That'd be awesome. So tell us, what are you currently nerding out on?
I'd probably say probably Ahsoka right now, because since like Ahsoka just ended, like my roommates and I, we just got done watching the last 2 episodes last night. So we were so like ecstatic about like what like the future may hold with that and like how that can go with the ending that they gave us. And for me, like my knowledge on Star Wars is it's pretty good, but there's certain things like in some of the comics or in some of the books and in some of the lore that like I either forget or I don't ever know as well with certain characters and even some of their backstories. And so like it helps to have definitely some of my roommates and friends to be like, oh yeah, so like when it comes to this ending without Al, that's what it meant with this. When it with the statue that what's his name was standing on at the end of the show, it meant this and this. And if these 2 things are linked with the father, the daughter, and the son, and that means like what does it mean for Darth Vader? So like it means for Vader it could be this, and then with Ahsoka it could be that. So does that mean possibly Star Killer? I don't know. So like it's like stuff like that that they explained to me that I'm like, oh no way! Oh, I knew a little bit of that, but I never knew. Oh, so like, yeah.
The mind blowing shit. Like this is literally the same exact thing that we do on our Tuesday show. Like we same thing on the Nerd Out. Like they literally have the game on Saturday Nerd Out where we try and guess like what's going to happen in the next episode or what's going to happen here. Well, I'm literally going to go watch Loki at the end of this, so that way I can give them my prediction for the Saturday.
Phil, there is an end credit scene. I will let you know that.
Okay, good. I will.
Yes, I watched before coming on here.
Okay.
On the show today, Cam decided, you know what? Loki's more important. I'm going to go watch Loki.
Phil, we've been over this.
Yeah. Well, I know. I get it. You would marry Loki if you could. I get it.
I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, if I swung both ways, I mean, I let him smash. I ain't gonna lie. He's an attractive man. Him and his brother.
Fun fact, Cam does, and I'm pretty sure Cam would let him smash. Would you let him smash? Yep.
Don't listen to Say Wong. Don't spoil it. No, I know.
Wong, I'm not.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay, so I know Phil has the hardest question.
Oh yeah, I do. I've got the most difficult questions you're ever going to be asked in your life. Right coming up. Are you ready right now?
Ask away.
All right. What is your favorite kind of taco? This is why it's hard, because people will sit there like, shit, what is my favorite kind of taco?
I mean, oh man. I mean, usually at one of my old jobs, we would always get a street taco truck that would always come and park in our parking lot every Friday, and I would normally get his spicy pork tacos, because like just like the spice that he would like add to it would just have like that perfect kick that like I love. But like,
was it Al Pastor?
Yep, El Pastor.
So fun fact, right? Because within our community, that is our litmus test for any Mexican or Hispanic restaurant. If they make good Al Pastor, that means that it's a good restaurant. So that's the litmus test, right?
Yeah, that was it. Because I'm always so used to getting asada or I mean literally anything else, because I was meat eater, as you can't tell. And all this is just skin and bones right here. It's all just.
No, right.
It's a big bowl of salad.
It's years of tennis. Exactly. You get it. It's years of tennis. That's all I tell people. Whenever people are like, "You look cute," so like, what do you do to work out? Years of tennis, my dude. That's all it is. You think Serena Williams was doing curls and stuff? No, bro. She was on the court just. Hey.
You got to keep the illusion. He's a vegan.
Exactly.
You know this. If you become vegan, you too can be as buff as him.
You can look like me.
Cha-cha.
Hey, I'm a vegan. This is that's like the guys that try to scam you on TikTok and Instagram, right? They're like super massively big, and they're just like, yeah, no, I only eat salads or and all this other shit. Like, yeah, no, you have a dietitian and you fucking work the fuck out every day. You're not taking this fat pill that makes you lose weight. It's not a thing.
Right, like that was always the thing of just being like, oh, so you're always wondering how I got these. You know, people are always going to tell you, eat salad, eat this thing, eat that. No, bro, just eat pizza, dog. Just eat pizza and burgers, and then that's practically it. You know, maybe, and then if you want, then go to the link in my bio and pay me $45.95, and then I will give you a diet plan that may or may not even work for anybody. And, from there you can figure out, like what your diet is and what your goal is. But, first you just got to go to my bio and pay me.
Well, instead of Liver King, I'll,
oh God, yeah.
Only.
Oh my God. Did you guys hear about like how Liver King actually is? Like the dude's talking about, I only eat animal fucking parts and all this other stuff. No, in reality, he had an executive chef. He ate a strict plan, and he only ate like the raw organs when he was on camera.
Right.
No, yeah. Of course, it totally seems right. I mean, you can definitely be like, it's exactly like what you're saying. I mean, you can't like tell me you go through all that and you're like, oh yeah, bro, that's all it is. Like my diet is super easy. You're like, no, bro. You do this as a living, so you go to the gym and spend maybe like 6 or 7 hours out of your day there at the gym working out everything every single day, whether for content or just for yourself. Then you have a team of dietitians plus your own probably chef that's cooking up Hollywood related diets that are like, oh, we got this like
chicken and rice.
Exactly, bland chicken and rice. Like, please, no one can cook that type of chicken and rice that you are specifically getting cooked for you.
I'm about to have me chicken and rice after we're done here. I'm about to make.
What we need to do is instead of Liver King, the bull penis king. He only eats bull penis. See how many people you can trick into doing that. That's
my God. You will be
a lot.
We got to move on.
Yes.
we will talk the messed up shit all night. So let's
That's our super secret show whenever we start streaming that.
We'll save that for the OnlyFans content fans.
Fans
that's for the OF fans.
That's that. We're gonna put that on the OnlyFans along with the kryptonite dildo for Superman. All right. What's some advice you might have for anybody trying to get into the industry? God, we're going from something completely fucked up to something really wholesome.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Definitely listen to everything we've been saying this entire show. Do all of it. No, but
right.
I would definitely say, just do it. I mean, it's literally gonna sound like a Nike commercial of just like, just do it. Literally, just dive in and do your research of
just people in general that even just know how to sew and just do the things that they do in general, so that way they can even teach you how to do some of these methods, so you're not so just lost in the wind when you jump in and you're like, okay, I'm here, but I don't know how to sew. I don't know anybody to really be in contact with to be able to reach out and figure out like where to, how to sign up for things, how to just craft things in general. So it's just being able to like do your research. But I mean, again, some of that sometimes just comes with time and looking up that stuff either on either on YouTube. There's thousands of more professional and fantastic craftsmen, cosplayers, and just people in general who just craft stuff essentially perfect, that can easily teach you all the methods or have templates that they have done on YouTube that can show you personally how to craft something as simple as like a sword or a hilt or a helmet or a hat or literally an entire armor set from like Monster Hunter or something, or literally even something that's down to something that's even smaller and minute, like something from like The Last of Us, like Ellie Shiv or something, So just be sure to do your research. But a lot of the time, I always tell people just to follow those my 2 personal rules of cosplay, which for me it's 1, be respectful, which I mean, come on, we all learned how to be respectful since we were like 6. So we know obviously not to do blackface, not to be an idiot, not to say anything racist, not to literally just not being an idiot. That's super easy. We all know that.
Unless your character is an idiot, but the judge the type of idiocy you're doing, right? Like I cosplay as Deadpool. I'm an idiot. 90% of the time, I'm saying and doing stupid shit. Just don't cross the line, right?
There you go.
And then for number 2, I always tell people, have fun.
Yes.
That's all this hobby is. I mean, people will, of course, like there are those, that are doing this for a job and, use this as an income and stuff like that, which that's fantastic. But that doesn't mean you have to do the same thing. It's
exactly
the same when like you would jump on YouTube or any other app where like it'd be the same thing of like everyone would always tell you, do this and do that, do this for the money, do that for that. No, you're doing it because, it makes you feel better as a person and it makes you feel more comfortable at just being yourself instead of that kind of shut in person that you are probably at work or outside of cosplay, where like most of the people at work or at school see you as just like that quiet person in the corner, but in actuality on TikTok or when you're in cosplay, you're the most eccentric and loudest person in the room. So it's just being able to just follow those 2 things, and the rest would easily be able to follow with either research or just with time, with finding other like-minded people at cons or local events that you can find on social media, or just everything in general.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, I got another extremely hard question for you here.
Fire away.
Who would win in a fight? T'Challa, Barrett, Black Adam, or Buff Bowser?
Ooh. Now, are we just talking like sex appeal or like fight?
No, fight. Like who?
Yeah. Okay. Because I was about to say sex appeal. I don't know. I might have to give that to Bowser because, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you put anybody in a shirtless anything with a big old hammer, or the horny hammer. People are gonna get bumped. I would probably say Black Panther just because of the use of vibranium. In general, just I mean, of course, we still can't really quantify and really say like how strong, like the bomb is, or like the Q block and stuff like that. Like we still can't really question that stuff, but at the same time, like as far as we know, adamantium and vibranium are like the 2 strongest materials ever
on Earth.
In any sort of fiction.
On Earth. So,
remember, I mean.
They made a point of that in Avengers Endgame. That vibranium is the strongest metal on Earth because the metal that Thanos' double-bladed sword was made out of.
Right.
His helicopter blade.
Right.
Exactly.
Right through the vibranium. And same thing where I've made the argument that nth metal in DC, which is what Hot Girl's mace is made out of. Nth metal technically is stronger than adamantium. So if you put Hot Girl up against Wolverine, Hot Girl might beat the shit out of Wolverine.
I forget when it comes to their metal in DC. But as far as like the other 2 that like Black Panther is matched up against, I'm still probably just gonna give it to BP
Black Adam
just because of his suit and the abilities there.
In this fight too. Black fight too.
But I mean, Black Adam would probably be the closest that would like definitely give him like the biggest the biggest amount of challenge, just again just because of his strength and power and speed level. Because I mean, she's next to Superman or what, Shazam. I mean, Black Adam's probably like one of the top 5 or maybe top 10 powerhouses in DC,
right?
As far as strength.
Yeah, because remember he derives his strength from magic, So that's what gives him the advantage over Superman, because one of Superman's vulnerabilities is magic.
That's true.
And,
all right,
and kryptonite things.
Oh yeah, kryptonite's a whole.
Oh yeah,
those shoved up his asshole. All right, so so what's next for you? I know you have it listed on your site, but just so for anybody that's watching right now, what's the next thing you got going on?
Let's see. I mean, the next thing, geez, just in general. I mean, I would say it's probably just cons in general that I'm either attending or ones that I'm going to be a guest at. So for next year, I'm going to be a guest, or even this year, for any of those here in the Reno, Nevada area, in November, at the end of November, or at least like a week before Fan Expo, on the 17th. 18th and 19th, I believe it is. I'm going to be one of the guests at Snafu Con here in Reno, that you guys can come check out. It's a fantastic con for all the local nerds. It's probably one of our biggest ones that we have here in Reno. But yeah, I'll be a guest there. But as far as next year goes, it's just growing even more, growing just my friend circle, just my skills in general. My followers and friends that way, my cosplays in general. So it's really everything. So so if you guys are ever really in the way or in the Cali area, then definitely follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Boykins Cosplay. And like I said, you can just come and follow up all my updates there. Or if you guys want to talk personally and ask me some questions, literally, I'm an open book. Just ask what page. I always tell people that. And yeah, literally just DM me, come have a good time, come say hey to me if you see me walking around at a con, or if I'm ever a guest at any other con or something, then let it come by. We'll hang out. We'll shoot the breeze, take some pictures, hang out. We'll do all of it.
Awesome. Working on them both staff skills. So we already you kind of answered the next question here. So that is basically it for the show tonight, guys. Before we get into the dance party, of course, let's go ahead and get everybody's pluggables. Of course, we're just following Boykins here because Brandon just gave us all his pluggables. So
yeah,
let's go ahead, guys. Cam, go ahead and give us your pluggable, sir.
Alrighty, you can find me at Cam Cosplay 0 on Instagram. I've got an event coming up on November 4th here at the Old Idaho Penitentiary. We're doing a Night in Arkham Bat Dance edition that I will be hosting along with Phoenix.
Ooh.
All right. Well, hopefully they actually play the Bat Dance by Prince, because if they don't, then that is just a travesty.
I'm going to make sure.
Yeah, you better have them play that. I know that was before your time, but still,
I'm going to make sure they do.
You were not a thought in your father's eye when that song played in 1989. All right, Graveyard.
Yes,
Mr. Sir.
Yes, I'm Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pod Out at Night Mostly podcast. So you can
Night, mostly.
For the month of Spooktober, we are releasing 2 to 3 episodes a week over at Comic-Con Radio. Make sure to check that out, where you can also find Geek Saga and obviously Distance Learning. Awesome people there, right? And now on Wednesday nights, you can find my new show, Conversations in the Void, where I'm discussing and talking to anyone in the horror community that I possibly can get my hands on, discussing all things horror with them. I had a blast last night. If you miss it, check it out. It's on YouTube under Pod Out at Night. Follow us on all social media at Pod Out at Night, except TikTok because I'm old. And then you can find me, 2 or 3 days a week over at our sister channel here at Disney Kyber Cave Productions. You can find me here on the Build every Thursday, where we interview awesome people and we do brackets. And yeah, in the winter, check out Split Screen coming out, where I was lucky enough to be part of the movie, be part of the cast. So I will post more stuff when that comes out.
And you finally have an IMDb page.
I do have an IMDb page now. Yes, I do. And more stuff coming for Horror Dads Productions that I'm hopefully part of. So yes.
God, Brandon and Graveyard over here, like making movies. I'm jealous. All right.
Shut up! I know, right, Phil?
I'll be there one day. It'll be fine. I'll be there
Oh,
one day.
yes.
I'll be there one day working behind the scenes.
You're already there, go.
You're crying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know who I am. I'm your boy, Young Phil, Distance Nerding Podcast. Of course, if you guys want to get more out of us, you can connect with us on all the social medias we have on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals and the beard.
Yes, rightfully so.
Exactly. All at Distance Nerding. Now, of course, guys, if you want to hold on, let me line this up real quick. There it is. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely, send us an email at dist it's nerding at AOL.com. Oh God. Again, Brendan, I hope you had fun. Obviously he did.
I had an absolute terrible time. I hope I never come back. This entire show was pointless. I hated it all. I almost regret answering the text.
Well, fuck. All right. We did not warn you about what comes next, but we're about to do something called the dance party. And the dance party is basically just grab something around you, make it dance on screen when the theme song starts playing. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. It is now time for the dance party. Let's get it going.
Hold on.
Pop up on him right now.
Distance.
Yeah. Beep Bowser. Swing, 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 swing. Yarr! Swing.
He's got a head.
Hey, Phil, you said anything. My wig was close by.
What does everybody want?
We'll see everybody next week.
Bye.